Well, things are not going well in Salem these days, at least not when it comes to ending the Senate walkout. Governor Kotek today announced that she is at an impasse with Republicans there. Her statement said she met 5 times with the Senate leader, Tim Knopp. Governor Kotek said she offered to address issues raised by the Republicans and to bring back to life and pass a number of their bills which were killed earlier. And she said nothing worked because Knopp would not agree to end the walkout unless House Bill 2002 is killed or substantially amended. That's the bill that requires insurance companies to cover gender-affirming care and allows girls 14 and younger to get an abortion without parental permission. For his part, Knopp said the governor was focused only on the status quo, an agenda that is uncompromising and unconstitutional. Before today's announcement last Thursday, I interviewed Senate President Rob Wagner. We're going to run some extensive clips from him over the last, we have actually over the last 2 nights. And if you missed it, check it out on our KGW YouTube or our KGW Plus app for Roku. We're also going to hear from him tonight as well. So, as part of our show last night, we asked for your feedback, and of course you never disappoint. Heidi spoke for many who responded, writing, "The Democratic leader seems like a very reasonable man. I agree that in a democracy, the majority rules, and the Republicans are only there and being paid to do the work, not to walk out and leave bills not voted on."
Why don't we do what millions of Americans do? Work for a living. If we don't work, we don't get paid. I'm sure they're not in there just for politics alone.
Well, I mean, they might be, but, well, who knows? That was Bob, by the way, who said he's 86 years old and a Republican. And on the other side, Tom, who says he's a Democrat and is taking Senate Democrats to task. He writes in, "I do not think the Democrats are negotiating in good faith. They, the Dems, believe in acceptance and meeting people where they are. The Republicans have a different set of views which do not align with the Democratic views, so they are shutting them down." And we'll end this part of the comment from Russ, who wants both sides to put House Bill 2002 up for a vote of the people and get on with the work of the session.
They're obviously not going to come back as long as this is sitting there. That's fine. Pull it off the table, put it to us, the people, to vote on it, and let's continue on.
Thank you, Russ, and thanks to each of you who wrote in and called. We really do read all your emails and we listen to all your voicemails. You're an important part of our show. Thanks for informing us on issues like this. And for his part, Senate President Rob Wagner today demanded the Republicans return to the session so that everybody can continue. So I guess now it's, actually, it didn't change anything. Which brings us to our final comments from an interview I did with him last week. We talked about his optimism that Republicans will return and the question of using the state police if they do not. Are you worried that there'll be no resolution?
I wouldn't say worried. I think that people are going to come back. I really do.
Really?
And so maybe we'll have this conversation in another few weeks.
That'd be great to celebrate that.
Yeah. So, but I'm, like I said, I'm excited to be here every day doing the work.
What's it going to take, though, to have the Republicans come back? They're just going to wake up one morning and say, you know what, Rob's a great guy. Let's go in there and vote.
Well, hopefully it's not driven around me being a great guy. I've got 4 kids. 2 of them are still teenagers, so that might be, you might, depending on the time of day, you might get a different answer on that. I do think that, again, it's not about personality. It really is about substance and issue.
Okay, but they're not going to wake up and say one day.
I can't get inside their heads on what's making them tick. I do know that the door is open, and I'm interested in having conversations with them about issues that impact them.
Okay, but then what makes you optimistic that it will happen, though?
I mean, I think we've seen, other instances in the past. Just look at the House. The House is a great example. They stayed. The Republicans there stayed. They had robust debate. They had disagreement, but they stayed. They didn't walk off the job. So I think that there are enough people that are committed to our democracy that are going to want to come back and hopefully give us the opportunity to vote on those bills.
So it's my understanding that some of the Republicans are still sort of bouncing around the building, doing committee meetings and things like that. Why not send the, what is that term? Sergeant at Arms.
Oh, yeah. Well,
or the state police.
So we do every day actually have what's called a call of the Senate. Yep. Senator Lieber makes a motion, and then they say bar the doors, and then the Sergeant at Arms goes around the building looking for folks. But at this point, this early in session, there wasn't conversation about trying to do kind of escalate this. I think it was really about there are Republicans that have really important things to say about bills and budgets, and we wanted to provide them that opportunity. At the same time, I think that it'll be interesting to see over the next few weeks how those conversations materialize.
Yeah, because I think you said last week, I'm not promising anymore that we won't do this, or something along those lines.
Yeah, I'm saying at this time, I haven't engaged in real conversation about what does that mean to engage like the state police yet or something like that.
But it's still on the table.
I think it has to be. If you just look at the Constitution, it really is about people showing up to do their constitutional duty, and that is voting on bills. It's not walking off the job. And I think we've seen too much of that. I think Oregonians are tired of it.
Tired or not, it goes on, and it continued again today. Meanwhile,